With my Lagom Method, I use my 4 pillars, the breathing, sleeping, eating, and moving as my foundation to speak with people about and their overall health, oral health. But the funny thing is, if I had known what I know today and I'd used it as a golfer, I would have been so much better.
Wow.
It's like the foundation for everything. I mean, if you don't sleep well as an athlete, or if you don't do the breathing correct, even in golf, because you can be sort of high up breathing and then you get stressed.
Welcome to the Just Do It podcast, hosted by Duffy. Dental Entrepreneur Women is here to dive deep and share stories with the mission to inspire, highlight, empower, and connect all women in dentistry.
Hi, everyone. It's Duffy, and welcome to the Just Do It podcast. I'm so happy that you're with me today because I have like a new friend and she's so yummy, and I can't wait to introduce her to you. But let me tell you a little bit about her before we get started. Jessica is a Swedish dentist and public health advocate focused on the mouth-body connection. She is the founder of the Lagom Method, inspired by the Swedish philosophy of living in balance, and supports people in optimizing how they breathe, sleep, eat, and move through practical habit shifts. Former pro golfer and grandmother of 11. Please help me welcome Dr. Jessica Lederhausen.
Thank you for having me.
I'm
fun, always.
so glad you're here. You found me through another dude that introduced you to me. Who was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, Maria Sokolina in New York.
Oh my gosh, yes. She's a force. Yes, Maria, I hope you're listening to this podcast because we love you. All dudes, Jessica, are like running a million miles a minute, attacking every task that comes in front of them, starts things, finishes them. I mean, it's just incredible, the women that we find that come to this community. Women are pretty darn amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, I really feel grateful to her to introduce me to you and the whole everybody. It's been everyone I meet, are amazing. And I'm so glad. I really am.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us because you're just so cool. And I mean, just the fact that you played college golf and then pro golfer in Europe and Sweden and beyond. First of all, that's really cool too. I can't wait to hear more about that. But you've had such a diverse career, starting with pro athlete, dentistry, coaching habit shifts, and entrepreneurship. So how has bringing those worlds together shaped how you think about prevention and healing today?
Well, I really try to take everything I've been going through or done in one bucket, like 10, 12 years ago. The kids were out, I sold the business, I actually had to start up and I realized, no, that is not going anywhere, fine. So I sat down and thought about it, but I find that from the golf piece, I really learned that passion, process, progress is what you need. I mean, you need to find what you really want to do. Mm-hmm. And focus on it and just hone in, not the whole time for 50 years, but you have to really go into it. And then it's a process. Nothing happens overnight if it's going to be really good. Then it's too easy or not big enough. And then the progress part, I mean, it's hard work. And you doubt yourself and you show up with persistence. And it's like a yin yang, you go back and forth. But in the golf world, a big learning is that, I mean, it's 18 holes. I don't know how much you know, but 18. You're a golf course. So 18 holes. And if you make the same mistake 18 times, I mean, you can try to shift small things. Yeah. And the biggest thing is if you have a bad shot, first of all, don't worry about it until you see where it actually is. And number 2 is what really matters is what you do next. And I think that's a good life lesson. It's forget about what you did. It is what it is, but what you do next is going to be who you become, kind of. If you go down deeper or if you move up and lift your eyes up further. So I think those are good learnings. And then I'm thinking in my work today with my Lagom Method, I use my 4 pillars, the breathing, sleeping, eating, and moving as my foundation to speak with people about and their overall health, oral health. But the funny thing is, if I had known what I know today and I'd used it as a golfer, I would have been so much better.
Wow.
It's like the foundation for everything. I mean, if you don't sleep well as an athlete or if you don't do the breathing correct, even in golf, because you can be sort of high up breathing and then you get stressed. It's kind of a joke on myself that I can combine those two worlds.
Well, you have to live a little bit, right? I mean, first of all, I think my mind goes to like, you should be coaching professional young golfers. You've got the experience there. That's pretty cool. And you're in the dental world. Also, that's very precise. But, I love the fact that you have learned so much and now you can share it with others, but also your life is even better because you've actually developed this model. And say it again. Is it lagom?
It's hang on the A a little bit, lagom.
Lagom.
So, yeah, in Swedish, this means not too much or too little, but just enough. This is an old thing. And in Sweden, they say, if I call my mom today, she might say, it's lagom warm today, which means nothing to me, but it means everything to her. So it's kind of confusing. What does that mean? Do I need a hat? Do I need a jacket? It's kind of funny.
What do you think it means to her, if you could guess?
That she's comfortable at the temperature.
Yeah. So it's just about right. Just about right. I love that. So I'm going to remember that because that's so interesting. And the other thing that I was thinking about when we got started is we have your 4 strengths here, which I love talking about. So learner, arranger, intellection, activator, and belief. But arranger, I was thinking about it when I was preparing today, Jessica, like as a golfer, you find the way to get to the hole. And so actually one of your strengths in your top 5 is being an arranger, to arrange which pattern, what path you're going to take to reach the destination.
I take that as a compliment because I think more of that as being a little artistic, like artsy, to see the shots and the turns. And I have to say, though, I was very not into the gallop when I first arrived the first time.
Yes.
But now I think it's fascinating. Everything fits in. The arranger, I'm a TEDx organizer. Am I kidding? All of them make sense.
I'm so glad you said that because when you dive into it, like it's not something you put in a drawer. It's something that you really take on. And we talk about that at the retreat, like learn, dive in. The first due principle is look for opportunities that build on your strengths. And then it's funny because you don't even know it sometimes because I didn't take it till I was in my late 50s. Yeah. And then it's kind of just started to make sense. So it's so cool that you see that going on now. And now you can even lean into it even more. And then the activators, you start something, you start it really fast. Like you said, you started in business and then you saw that it wasn't going the way you wanted to go and you just could pivot. It's not that hard to pivot. But I think an entrepreneur is somebody that is an activator and can arrange things for the right reason. And then learner is so key. You're learning all the time. And when you're a learner, you can communicate really well. And so that really helps with your coaching. And then, you're smart as a whip. I have strengths envy when I think about that one. I'm like, oh, I love intellection. I think it's super neat to be able to learn. And then again, just always be curious. And then belief, that's a beautiful strength to have because you're executing. So belief and arranger are in the executing domains. And learner and intellection are in strategic. Activator is in influencing. So you have something in every domain in your strengths, which is really cool. So you're influencing, executing, relationship building, and strategic in your top 5, which is really nice. I don't get anything strategic until number 11. So that's why when I'm hiring somebody or somebody's on my team.
You have some great people. That's good.
Yeah, and thank God they're strategic. But also made me think of you as just a golfer and so good at that. And then you didn't even know it, but that's part of who you are and who God made you to be, which is really, really cool.
I do love helping people I play with. I love that. I think it's so fun. And I can see if I just say a little thing, it's going to change a lot. So I do that.
Isn't that so fun? That's a natural talent that you have and it brings you joy, which is really cool. But, you've done a lot of things clinically and personally that made the mouth-body connection impossible for you to ignore. And I'd like you to tell us a little bit more about that because you've got so many talents. And you've excelled in so many different arenas, but what made you get and really zone in right now on the oral systemic connection?
Well, it's a little more philosophical way is that I just turned 60. My book, I started working on not 10 years ago, but let's say 8, with the intention to stay in the lane of the foundation of the book, coaching and hopefully be part of changing healthcare somewhat from being silos, the medical and dental, which is happening, actually, I think.
Slow but sure. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to be part of that so I feel like I do something meaningful. But what triggered me to actually write the book was during the TEDx Chicago years, I always looked for speakers. And one amazing person had a presentation on gut microbiome, let's say, almost 10 years ago. And I ran there, of course, to listen to it. And everything was cool until the slide was headless. and just the torso. I'm like, oh my God. Obviously, whatever you put in your mouth and goes down through the system.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that made me actually more interested in I'm going to write this book. We need to have the whole picture. And then I have a really good friend in Chicago. We go for walks, and she told me her dad was so sick. This is within a few weeks. Typically, things happens at the same time. And she told me he's so sick, he can't move. He's on the couch. He's 75. He's always been climbing to trees, kind of thing. What's going on? They don't know. And it took months before they looked in her mouth and had an infection, and it was messing with his whole system. Again, oh my God. I mean, why can't people communicate?
Wow.
And then these two made me start the writing process, which is a long process before you actually start writing. But I had a meeting with a friend in Sweden who is a doctor, and he's a world leader in mucus. And I told him about the gut microbiome and the oral microbiome. We know more, but yeah, that's the only other place we talk about leaky gut, leaky mouth. And he got excited for me. This is interesting, he said. I'm like, okay, maybe this is a book to be. I felt so belittled and insecure before that, maybe. But yeah, so that pushed me in the direction. So I got going. And I think it's been very rewarding and fun. So for me.
Tell us what the name of the book is and when's it out?
Oh, the book is out since 2 years now. So Oral, O-R-A-L. I explain how the connection is. And then I give practical tools to optimize your everyday habits so you can optimize your health through your habits. And it's small little shifts you can do.
Well, I love that. And who did you write the book for? Who is the one person you want to reach with this book? Is it the clinician? Is it the doctor? Is it humans? Is it everybody? Who do you think your main audience is for this book?
Yeah. So when I wrote it, I had some people I spoke with, of course, to learn from. And you have to write to who's your group. And so finally, I decided to write to a friend of mine. She doesn't even know yet. I should tell her maybe.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If she doesn't like this is too much information. She won't listen. Whoop, out. But the actual book, I hope all clinicians take it on and give it out as gifts to their patients. And I want people to be empowered to ask the right questions.
Yes.
And be in the discussion. What is this microbiome, gut, oral? And the dentists, if they are equipped to answer, that's fine. You just say, I don't know. Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll figure it out. Or if they are, it would be a wonderful discussion. What can be done and if it's going to make a difference for this specific patient or not. So that's where I want to see it more. So I just want to push it for that reason.
Well, first of all, a couple things. I love the name. It's so cool. You've got that oral. You know what it's about. The other thing that is so cool, now I haven't seen this yet because I just got home. In fact, it's funny. My husband had a colonoscopy today. I'm going to be very frank on this call. It's very interesting. What happened, he, had an event 4 years ago where his stomach just kind of blew up and his whole colon burst. So getting his colonoscopy today, after the doctor came in and said, he's fine, whatever. I said, well, he almost died with this bursting of his colon, 4 years ago. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah. Did you read the history of my husband? Yeah. Which makes me think, to your point, Jessica, we have got to start taking care of our own health and knowing what questions to ask. So your book is going to bring valuable information that I can understand, or anyone that's not in the dental arena can understand. So when they go to the doctor or they have a dad that's on the couch, you can't figure it out, we'll be able to ask those questions. And I love this gastroenterologist. He actually is a dear friend of ours, but I think they're busy. They're busy and we can't depend on other people taking charge of our own health. So that, you got a pain point there for me right now for your book. And then also we're going to have it on the Book Nook in the Duke Life crew. But I also love the fact that that connection is being missed. That's your activator. Dang it, I'm going to do something to make a difference when you saw the gut biome without the head. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you is this morning, this is a podcast, but we're having a conversation here, everybody. I was reading the Wall Street Journal, or I flipped through it when I was in the waiting room. And there was a whole article about young moms are really into gut biome right now. It's a trend. It's a huge thing. So yes, go to the Wall Street Journal, click on it. I'll read it and I'll send it to you if I can get the digital.
No, I can find it. Thanks.
Because, isn't that crazy? It's a big thing. And nobody was talking about that a couple of years ago. Nobody even understood it.
In my little bubble, it's been a huge thing for the last 10 years. But I hope they let the kids play out in the dirt and all that, because that's part of it.
Yes. Well, we talked
Give
about
the
that.
kids what they need and not sterilize things left and right
Well, yeah, but you know how many we need to
at
get that
home.
out to the masses. We need to get
Yeah.
that, just like we say, let the kids have a babysitter that might not wash their hands after playing outside in the dirt. As long as they're
Perfect.
breathing, we thought they would be good. You and I and our kids are still alive and well. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I can't wait to share this book. So you bring all that in together to really make sense for us, not only for our own health, but for the health of our loved ones.
Now, that's the intention. And yes, there are very few books out on oral health. It's a handful. And some are more technical and some are more for the dentist, I guess. But this is really for everyone, which is made it a little hard because everybody kept saying you have to focus on an audience.
Yeah. We want to make it easy to read, easy to understand. I think that's genius. And that was just on your heart for your friend. I love the fact that you said, I'll write it for my friend, which brings me to like kind of our follow-up question on that is about, I just want to talk about the TED Talks in Chicago, because you came up to me at the retreat. I love a short little talk and then little conversation after the fact. But as the founder, you were the founder. This is another thing. You're such a leader too. Like, okay, I'll just found the founder and executive producer of TEDx Chicago. Okay, that's huge. And you've coached and curated a lot of talks. Again, dentist, entrepreneur, write a book about oral. And then you also say, I think I'll just be the founder of the TED Talks in Chicago. Really good. I'm just such a slacker. Unbelievable. But you are the one person to let us know, what do most people get wrong about giving a powerful talk and what exactly creates the real impact? Because even if you're not a speaker on stage, you have to give a talk to your kindergartners or to your church group or to your corporate table or to your friends. Tell us, what did they get wrong about giving a powerful talk?
Actually, I'm still amazed that I did say yes when somebody asked if I wanted to do this because there was no TEDx Chicago. But it's been amazing. I think it also helped me to be bold enough to write the book because I met all these amazing people. I mean, we had 400 people apply the first years and then we tightened it up a little bit. But anyway, to do a talk, I mean, according to TED's way of doing things, and I mean, they have billions of viewers. I'm just following and learning from what they're doing. And I would say the first thing to think about is don't give the gallery. You just bring one painting and keep at it. Keeping it short in minutes is also a good idea because when you start going on and on and on, it's like on TV, those talk shows. Everybody just want to have the seconds of words. I mean, in my mind.
Yeah.
And this is so the opposite. Every word counts. The people can suck it in or get it in and really understand. And you actually take the audience on a journey from maybe believing something to actually seeing it in a different way. And it's not like you're promoting, but you're just telling what your view of. I tried to get a guy who's making 3-dimensional kidneys in Chicago. I mean, people are amazing that I've been reaching out to.
Okay.
How can I grasp that? I mean, so that person didn't come and speak at my stage, but let's say he did. So he needs to explain what a kidney does, what you need it for, and so on. We need to know, what's going to happen? So people start thinking instead of listening if you don't move them along in a good pace and actually give them what they need.
So this is good because I'm going to do a panel this week at the Hinman. And so we've got 2 questions to answer. And because I have communication, I think I need to give them every single thing about the answer that I have had in my tool chest forever. Okay. Instead of like picking one profound statement or takeaway for them and then like have a mic drop, right? I mean,
why don't you and you can run it through me and I can see if I can help you. That would be really fun.
Oh, that would be really fun.
Yeah. So let's find a time. That would be fun.
Okay. So maybe we should film that also because, that would be really helpful because, all of us want to be able to be succinct. And I just always have so much I want to say. And even when you're talking to your kids, this is helpful for like even your relationships in general, not just on the TED Talk stage, right? Because when you're speaking to someone, you're trying to get a point across. If you go too far and I get off tangents, I'm like all over the place half the time to like stay focused on the one point that I'm trying to make and make it well.
But remember, there's some people who are the opposite. So then I had to really work with some people to tell more about you. Why would I trust you standing up there?
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you have a degree, how do you own this? And why do I trust you? So that's a big one too. And why is this important? I mean, if you don't even tell me that this is so important, why would I think it's important listening to you? So it depends who the person is. So it's not a one-stop shop. Everybody's unique in the way they want to talk, and so it's really fun. But these are sort of the foundation of it, and you up and down different parts depend on the person.
Wow. So when they came to you with their talk, then you saw their talk and then you gave them feedback and helped them kind of whittle it down?
You come to me and it's going to be on my stage or another stage, I guess. If you have a ready talk, I would say, okay, let's put that aside and we'll just talk today. So I try to get to know the person and this way they're communicating and the way they carry themselves. Some are shy and some are the opposite. So you need to tame people or boost them and then I want to really understand what your idea is, what the center of what you're going to say is. And sometimes I don't know. So then we have to start from the beginning.
You got to find out what their message is. Like, what is really your message? What do you really want to say?
Core of it.
Yeah, in the core. And that really helped you. That discipline probably really helped you when you were writing the book. You would know yourself, like, what do you really want to get across? And what are the words? Every word was precious.
And that helped me with my friend, because when you write, you get too much words here and there, which is not my problem, but still, I think she's not going to care about this. Boom, out.
That's
too much information.
That's so cool. Then everything in that book is, there's nothing in the book that you don't think needs to be there, which is really cool. It's another reason why we need to get that book. So you guys make sure you go to your site. How do we get in touch with you if we want to get the book?
Yeah, my name is my website, jessicalederhausen.com, or the Lagom Method. And I have the book there when I sign. It's a hardcover that is only available there. And I would love to send those out, which I do. And then Amazon has the book, of course, and some random stores and such.
But it would be better to go ahead and get it from you, I would imagine. Who doesn't want a signed copy of a book for you with all your accolades you got, and who knows what you're up to next? I mean, you're still young and you just had a mile marker of a birthday, but we start and don't stop and we never retire. So, we got it in us. I would love to get with you on my talks, because who doesn't want to be more profound when they're up in front of somebody? I mean, and that is a gift that you have given. And the other thing is you've lived it. You got the experience. Not many people have listened to 400 talks or got them on a stage. So kudos to you. And so we can find you that way. And then I just want to say thank you so much for being part of Do, because we were so lucky that Maria introduced us.
But I'm happy she presented you to me, which was a gift. I'm really, truly happy. Everybody are fantastic.
Yeah, we do learn from each other. I am always amazed, but I'm just so thankful for Maria, because I wouldn't know you otherwise. And I have loved knowing you and have all the time that we've had to spend together. So thank you so much for being here today. I know we'll see you at the retreat in November. We got that going in the 12th to the 14th in Charlotte. And then, of course, if you're listening to us today, just know the most important thing you can do is to keep doing you. So thank you so much, Jessica. I hope to see you before November, but if not, continued success for you in the book and all that you're doing for the world and beyond. So thank you.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
Thank you for listening to the Just Do It podcast, hosted by Ann Duffy. To learn more about dental entrepreneur women, to share your story, or to join the movement, please visit our website, do.life. That is DEW.life. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcasting app to make sure you don't miss an episode. And in the meantime, keep doing you.